At the dinner table was my whole family, including my nieces, and when it was time to talk about my trust, my dad and mom asked me if I would consider holding off on accessing the trust for another 2 years, as they had to use some of the money to cover some of the healthcare and living cost of their grandkids, and also pay off a lawsuit that my sister Gloria received for a DUI. I asked how much they used, and my mom said there is currently $5,000 left in the account. So they spent $95,000 and none of it went to me. My dad said, "We just need you to think about your family and understand that we need your help in this request." I said, "Isn't it great that everyone benefited from this money besides the person it was intended for? My sisters got to go to college and travel the world with their money, while with my money I got to pay for all their mistakes." My last words to my family were that this was not a request as the decision was already made and I moved out and left. I still went to college as I had a partial scholarship, and over those years I used the money I had in my savings to start my own landscaping business which employs 6 guys, and we are doing great. I never got a chance to spend any of the money my grandparents left for me as my parents never built back up the trust. 2 years ago, I found out from my lawyer when I sent in a formal request to access the trust that the current balance was $3,456.13. Less than the $5,000 my parents told me about. My sisters and parents have tried to reconnect throughout the years, but I have always resent every gift, letter, and invitation they have sent me back to them. I am getting married next month, and my fiancé wants to meet my family and help me close this chapter in my life. My fiancé wants me to forgive and move on, as I haven't spoken to them in years. I just don't know though if I can really move on from this and forgive my family. Update. My fiancé admitted to speaking with my family on Facebook Messenger, as well as meeting in person with them at a restaurant, which apparently all happened around a month ago. My fiancé said it was very emotional. I told her that I'm extremely disappointed that she withheld this information from me for a month. She told me she felt guilty and afraid to tell me because she thought I might break up with her and cancel the wedding if I found out. She wanted to wait till after the wedding to tell me. However, yesterday my mom called her directly begging her to help me reunite our family. She missed so much of my life and she doesn't want to miss another milestone like the wedding. My fiancé knows she has violated my trust and she gave me the most heart-melting sincere apology I ever heard in my life and asked for forgiveness. She even had her parents ask me to forgive her and not cancel the wedding. Her dad and mom told me they loved me and hoped I could move past this. Her dad loves me, he literally has a picture of me in his office, just me and him. Her dad has introduced me as his son for the past 2 years. He cried and said he doesn't want to lose me as a son. There was too much I love about my fiancé and her family to let this ruin everything, so I forgave her. A couple of days later my sisters came to my business with my nieces and desperately wanted to talk. My sisters apologized and said they deeply regret their part in the decisions that were made on their behalf, and that they just want to be a family again. They understand my position and anger, but they miss me and want me back in their lives. My nieces also asked why I don't come around anymore and if I was mad at them. My sisters explained this has destroyed our parents' marriage as it has now come out that my mom apparently spent the majority of the money without my dad knowing. But then when my dad found out, my mom wanted dad to say it was both of their decision because she believes if it came out that it was her that decided by herself and not my dad, that I would never forgive her no matter what, and that I would disown her because I always accused her of playing favorites to be honest. She is right, I would have disowned her. My mom pleaded with my dad to cover for her decision to empty my fund. Dad was furious but decided to say he and my mom decided to spend the money. Dad now resents our mom because he no longer has a relationship with his only son. He also hears from his friends how great of a relationship me and my father-in-law have. You could probably already pick up on that from the way he calls me his son. My dad told my mother either she fixes this or he is done with her and he is telling me the truth. I told my sisters that I love them and my nieces, and I do not hate them. However, they helped rob me out of a very important gift that our grandparents gave each of us, and I missed out on life experiences that they got to experience and I did not. It's like they stole my last gift that our grandparents left for me. We all cried and I accepted their apology, but I told them I don't know how to let go of this resentment I feel towards them. I let them know our relationship will take time to rebuild. I asked them to set up a meeting with just me and dad, excluding my mom. I met with my dad alone. My dad was shocked that I requested the meeting. He looked defeated and asked to speak first. My dad told me he is and has been depressed for the last few years and feels like he truly failed me as my father, and he knows he betrayed me, and as a father, he must take that to his grave that he is the reason his son hates him. He said he is extremely jealous of the relationship I have with my father-in-law, and he just started crying for like 3 minutes straight. I told him I know it was mom who decided to spend the money. I told him I understand why he didn't throw mom under the bus, but he deeply hurt me by covering for mom's decision this long. I told him I love him and said he doesn't owe me anything anymore. He is done owing mom's debt. We both cried and hugged for like 5 minutes. I invited him, my sisters and my nieces over to dinner at my place that night without mom. I let my sisters and my dad know that if they came to the dinner with my mom with them that this would be the last time we speak. My mom clearly found out about the reunion without her and wanted to speak, but I refused her request and told her please bring a check for $100,000 if you want to talk to me. My wedding is on September 3rd and I have since invited everyone but my mom. My sisters want me to hear mom's side of the story, and my dad has said he is done covering for my mom's decision. My fiancé is happy and supports my decision 100%, even though I know she wants me to meet with my mother. She just got forgiven herself, so she doesn't want to push it. Should I meet with my mom before or after she hands me the check for $100,000?